Hi, my name is Ellen Musselman, and I will be discussing the picture ordering method that is highlighted on page 44 of Nation's Listening and Speaking Text. This method is focused on the listening domain, and a basic overview of the method is that the teacher will read aloud a story 2 or 3 times to give the students a chance to hear it and comprehend it. And while they're reading it, they will display a series of pictures that correspond to the events in the story that they're reading, but the pictures will be out of order and will not match the correct order of what the teacher is reading. So the student's responsibility will be to listen to the text and put the pictures in the correct order that they're hearing them occur in the story. So the pictures will be numbered 1 through however many pictures there are, and the students will work individually at first to write down the order that the numbers should be in. And then together as a class, after the teacher's done reading, she'll ask which event happened first, and they'll hold up a number of fingers to indicate which picture that's being displayed happened first, and then second and third, and so on. So that's a basic overview of the method. This method can be modified for any age group or language level. If it's an upper level class, maybe they could make their own examples after the first example is being read. The teacher could choose a harder passage to read with more vocab or more grammar thrown in, or the pictures might be a little bit tougher to figure out what's happening. So it can be adjusted for any level. My example is for young beginners, maybe students who have just entered a public school system and they are still very much beginners at English. They might still be in the silent stage, so they're not very comfortable speaking at all. And this is a good exercise because it requires no speaking, so it will allow the teacher to assess the student's ability to listen without the added pressure of them having to speak. So it will lower that affective filter to make the student more comfortable and help the teacher better understand where the student's at. The time frame is 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long the story is, how many times it's read, so forth. It's a short activity. It could be used for a warm-up to kind of get the students' minds set on English, to get them kind of focused and in the right mindset. The materials are simple. It's just the story. This teacher has to prepare a story to read, and the pictures that correspond to display to the class. Those are the only materials needed. So I have an example here, and again, this is for young beginners. The pictures are very basic. The story is very basic. It's just a sequence of events, daily routine. So it would look something like this, displayed probably on an overhead. And so these pictures would be displayed, and I would read a story that corresponds with them. So something like this: the boy woke up and got out of bed. He did his exercises, then went to the bathroom to brush his teeth. He got dressed, then he went to the kitchen to make himself breakfast. After he finished his breakfast, he began to read his book. So I would read that 2 or 3 times, however many I would think is needed for the class level. And each picture is numbered 1 through 6. And so the students would look at these numbers and put them in the order that they should be based on the order of the events. So, for example, I would start out by saying what event happened first in the story that I read. And the students would hold up, in this case, 6 fingers, because the sixth picture happened first. And then I would say, what event happened second? And in this example, the 4th picture happened second. So they would hold up 4 fingers, and so on through 6, so that they're working individually, but then they get a chance to work with their classmates to put them in the correct order. So that is the picture ordering method from Nation's listening and speaking text.